Ms. Hurst from Hamilton County Schools. We are going to go ahead and read our last text of this unit for right now. And it is called Urban Farming is Growing a Greener Future. So what I want you to do is we're going to do a warm-up really quick. Our photographs like windows into the past, and what sort of things might you discover by looking carefully through such a window? Obviously, this is kind of a philosophical question, so take your time, really think about it. Pause me, and when you're ready to keep going, press play. All right, the reason that I asked you guys this question is because today what we're going to do is we're going to look at a text that is actually a collection of photographs. There's a slight intro to the text, but it's like one paragraph, and then after that, we are going to just look at how those photographs really contribute to what the text is saying. So go ahead and find Urban Farming is Growing a Greener Future. I want you to do a contiguous first read of the little paragraph that is an intro. So I've shared my screen with you. I want you guys to read just this background and this like one paragraph intro. And I want you to think about what the central idea of the text is. So pause me while you read that and identify the central idea, and then press play when you are ready to move on. All right, so the central idea of this text, obviously it's about urban farming. And I think that it's important to note that it was talking about how it solves a lot of problems that are caused by the number of people choosing to live in cities rather than in rural areas. So I know in that little intro section, it talked about it provides an aesthetic, health, environment, and economic benefits. It gives people food. It also gives supports local businesses. It has a lot of positives. So what we're going to do today is we are going to look at the individual photographs that are now in here. There are 6 of them. We're going to think, first we're just going to analyze what is happening in this photograph, because you have to actually know what's happening before you can think about how it contributes to that central idea that urban farming solves a lot of problems. So let's look at photograph number 1. So it's this picture. I see it says Victory Garden by the Boys of Ludlow Street. It looks old. It's black and white. What they're wearing does not seem modern. So now I'm going to read the caption. It says, urban farms are not a new idea. During both world wars, okay, so I was right, so it is old. The government encouraged Americans to plant victory gardens where they could grow their own food. Here in 1943, children work in a garden in New York City. Okay, so I'm going to make this chart. You guys should make this chart too. Photo number 1 is urban farming happening in the past, specifically during the World Wars. It was 43, so that's the Second World War. How does it support or add to the central idea that urban farming solves a lot of problems? So I'm going to just start saying UF is not a new idea. It started out by saying that. It's been happening for a long time because of the benefits, right? So we talked about how it solves a lot of problems. That's why people have been using it for so long, is because it solves a lot of problems. All right, I'm going to give you guys time to look at the second one. What do you notice? I see a city in the background, which makes sense because it's talking about urban farming. It looks like a warehouse, but it says city farm. I see some plants, and it says urban farms can make use of what? Of vacant city lots that are often considered eyesores or ugly, unpleasant sites in public places. I love that it defined it right there. When anytime it gives you a word and then says or, and then gives you a definition, like you don't even have to think about it. It gives you the definition. So that's a great context clue. The farms become not only a source of food and beauty, but provide a location for members of the community to gather. An area of neglected, polluted land next to a railway station in Perth, Australia has been revived as an organic farm. All right, so photo number 2, what is it? It is a warehouse that has been turned into a garden. So how does that support the idea that urban farming solves a lot of problems? Is one problem that urban farming can solve is revitalizing neglected areas by turning them into a source of food. So it's pretty exciting. It's one problem. Let's go ahead and look at the next one. So I noticed this guy looks like he's wearing like a chef jacket. There's lots of buildings around and then a garden. It looks like we're up high. I say that because I can't see the ground. I'm going to read the caption. New York City will never completely return to its long-lost agricultural origins, but in 2011, this midtown hotel began growing fruit, vegetables, and herbs on the building's roof to supply the hotel's kitchen. The hotel also keeps honeybees, which roam for miles, pollinating city plants. Interesting. Okay, so photo 3 is a New York City rooftop. It grows food for a restaurant inside. How does that support the idea that urban farming has solved a lot of problems? So even spaces or places like New York City, where there isn't a lot of space for gardens, made use of urban farming. So that's important because it solves a lot of problems, right? And this is a definite example of people choosing to live in cities because New York City is a huge example of that. All right, I want you guys to do 4 and 5 on your own. So I'm going to show you, oh goodness, I'm going to show you 4. What do you notice? Obviously, it looks like he's indoors. It says only 12% of Japan's land is suitable for agriculture, but in this company's headquarters in Tokyo, office workers can take time to cultivate produce. 1/5 of the 9-story building is devoted to farming. So I want you guys to go ahead and answer number 4. All right, so I said number 4 is a company in Japan uses their indoor space to garden, and what does that have to do with the central idea? Some urban farming strategies have to be creative because of a lack of space. So that is a problem that it solves, is a lack of space. All right, next we're going to do number 5. What do I notice about this picture? Someone working in a garden. I see a city. He's wearing a hat and a jacket. And then it says, urban farming, like traditional farming, is a year-round operation. The greenhouses at this farm in Chicago have to be maintained regardless of the season. Each acre of the farm produces 20,000 pounds of produce annually. All right, go ahead and fill out your chart. Pause me. All right, so what was in this picture? It was a greenhouse in Chicago that requires year-round work, but also produces 20,000 pounds of produce. And why is that important? Growing food is a natural positive side of urban farming, but it also can create jobs because it requires year-round maintenance. So that's just another positive. All right, for your exit ticket today, I want you to do the same work we've been doing, but with photo 6. See if I can get back to photo 6. I see a city and I see a garden and a truck and 2 guys. So this 30-year-old pickup truck is a mobile farm and travels around giving students in city schools a chance to experience how food grows. The farmers who own the truck made a film about their exploits and strive to support others who grow produce in creative ways. So for your exit ticket, fill out the chart for photo 6. Then you are good to go. I hope you have a wonderful day.